ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಸ್ಪಂದನ ವಾಹಿನಿಯ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಜನಪ್ರಿಯ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಸ್ಕೈಸ್ ದ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಕೋರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಈ ಸಂಚಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ತರುವಂತಹ, ಅಭಿಮಾನ ಪಡುವಂತಹ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಮೆರಿಕದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದುಕೊಂಡು ಬಹುರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಕಂಪನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ವರಿಷ್ಠ ಹುದ್ದೆಗಳನ್ನು ಅಲಂಕರಿಸ್ತಾ ಒಬ್ಬರು ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿಯಾಗಿ ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯನ್ನು ತಂದುಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ 13 ಅಮೇರಿಕನ್ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ತನ್ನ ಹೆಸರಿಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಒಬ್ಬ ಸುವಿಖ್ಯಾತ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕಟ್ಪಾಡಿ ಎಸ್ ವಿದ್ಯಾಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ತನ್ನ ಬಾಲ್ಯವನ್ನು ಕಳೆದು ಹೈಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸವನ್ನು ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಟ್ಪಾಡಿಯ ಮೂಲಕ ತನ್ನ ಬಾಲ್ಯವನ್ನು, ತನ್ನ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಶ್ರೀಮಂತವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಗೆಳೆಯರನ್ನು ಸಂಪಾದಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಒಬ್ಬರ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಇವತ್ತು ಇಷ್ಟು ಎತ್ತರಕ್ಕೇರಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ, ತುಂಬ ಅಭಿಮಾನ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಅವರನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮೂರಿನ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದನ್ನು ಭಾಳ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯಿಂದ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಹೌದು ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಪಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಶಣೆ ಅವರನ್ನು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ನಾನು ಭಾಳ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅವರ ಕಥೆಯನ್ನು ಅವರೇ ಹೇಳುವಂಥ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಚಾಲನೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಸರ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಟು ದ ಶೋ.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್.
ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಪೊಸ್ಸಾರ್ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಹರೀಶ್ ಶಣೆ,
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಹೆಸರು ಭಾಳ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಹೆಸರು ಸರ್. ಸರ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ದ ಪ್ರೌಡ್ ಅಲುಮ್ನಿ ಆಫ್ ಎಸ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ಪಾಡಿ.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
ಸರ್, ಫ್ಯೂ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ಹುಡ್ ಇನ್ ಕಟ್ಪಾಡಿ.
I was a 10th child to my parents. 2 children died at birth, so we were 12 together. And I grew up in a very poor family. I lost my father at the age of 10. Then I lost one of my brothers who was serving in military at the age of 16. And every day I had to literally run to school because there was not much time, about 2 to 3 kilometers each way 4 times a day in hot sun with no sandals. So this is how I grew up, and I read in kerosene lamp. We didn't have electricity, and I was very proud to grow up in that environment. And we were in a small house, 2-3 rooms and open house, no door also. And it was difficult to study, but I managed to do that. And again, I cherish my childhood, love the place, Posar Tota. I am surrounded by 10 or 12 of my own family's relatives. So we settled there in the early part of last century. So I grew up there. I attended grade 1 to 7 SVS Elementary School, then grade 8 to 10 SVS High School, and 10th is the SSLC exam. And I was fortunate to have achieved the 15th rank in the state, and I think I was the second rank holder in the state from that school. So then I went to MGM College in Udupi.
Sir, a few words about SVS teachers who promoted you, encouraged you, motivated you.
We had some really great teachers, especially I can name a few. Pundalik Shanai, Damodar Shanai, Ganapati Shanai, then Sarvottam Shanai, Niranjani Nayak, Damodar Nayak, Jayamalini. I had lots of Sanskrit teachers, lots of teachers both in elementary school and high school who were really outstanding, and I learnt a lot which really laid the foundation. And
so you walked 4 kilometers per day?
No, 3 kilometers each way 4 times, because you go in the morning, come back for lunch, go back and come back. So I did that for 10 years, and without shoes, and sometimes the tar is very hot, you know, and then red stone is very hot. So
you were telling 100 pounds.
Yeah, I used to weigh almost less than 100 pounds in those days. I was very skinny, but I was healthy. And so I was very fortunate. Then I went to MGM College every day from Katpadi in bus, and I was again fortunate to have earned 3rd rank in PUC in the state in science. And I always wanted to work in the area of computers, because computers were just coming in and they were not there at that time. So I decided to pursue my electronics at IIT Madras. I was lucky to get there, and those days engineering was 5 years, I got my...
So then MGM College was rich with the teachers.
Yeah, MGM College.
Inspiring teachers.
Yeah, I remember UL Acharya, Sripati Acharya, Kushi Haridas Bhatt was my principal. I had some really great teachers. Alvin D'Souza, chemistry, one of the fantastic teachers. And yeah, science was just unbelievable in MGM College. And then that really made me well prepared to go into IITs. And IIT, as you know, is a world-class institution. And so there I completed my bachelor's in electronics, and all of us, we were 36 people in the class. And in those days, electronics was the most sought after engineering branch in India. And IITs are still most sought after institutions. So all of us went to United States. And it was like a herd, follow the herd, and I followed the herd in pursuit of higher education and knowledge. Not to make money, that was not our intention, but to do research, higher education, and attain the knowledge. That was my childhood.
ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಬಹಳ ಬ್ರೀಫಾಗಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಚ್ಛೆಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಪೊಸ್ಸಾರ್ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಹರೀಶ್ ಶನೆಯವರು ಕಡ್ಪಾಡಿ ಎಸ್ ವಿದ್ಯಾಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳ ತಮ್ಮ ಬಾಲ್ಯವನ್ನು ಕಳೆದರು. ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ಅವರು 12 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ಗಳಷ್ಟು ನಡೀತಾ ಇದ್ದರು, ಬರಿಗಾಲ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದ್ದರು. ಮನೆಯವರಿಗೆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವರು ಚಿಮಣಿ ದೀಪದ ಬೆಳಕಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದರು. ಸುಮಾರು 12 ಜನ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಅವರ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಸಾಕೋದು ಭಾಳ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು ಭಾಳ ಕಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದರು. ಈ ಹೊತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರನ್ನು ಎಸ್ ವಿದ್ಯಾಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠ ಅಧ್ಯಾಪಕರು ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹ ಕೊಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಅವರು ವಿಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಕಲ್ತರು. 10ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ 15ನೇ ರ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಬಂತು. ಎಸ್ ವಿದ್ಯಾಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ ಅದು 2ನೇ ರ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು MGM ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಪ್ರವೇಶ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಕುಶಿ ಹರಿದಾಸ್ ಭಟ್ ಅವರ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಾಲತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ PUC ನಲ್ಲಿ 3ನೇ ರ್ಯಾಂಕನ್ನು ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಯಿತು. ಆ ಮೂಲಕ MGM ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಅವರು ತುಂಬ ಋಣಿಯಾದರು. ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರನ್ನು ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅತಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡ ಕಾರಣ ಅವರಿಗೆ IIT ಸೀಟ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿತು. ಮೆಡ್ರಾಸ್ IIT ಮೂಲಕ ಅವರು ತಮ್ಮ ಅತಿ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ BTech ಡಿಗ್ರಿಯನ್ನು ಸಂಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರು. ಅವರ ಬ್ಯಾಚಲ್ಲಿ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ 38-37 ಜನ ಕೂಡ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಅರ್ಹವಾಗಿ ಅಮೆರಿಕಕ್ಕೆ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆದರು. ಅವರ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆಯ ಪಥ ಭಾಳ ವಿಸ್ತಾರವಾಯಿತು, ಹೊರೈಸನ್ ವಿಸ್ತಾರವಾಯಿತು. ಆ ಮೂಲಕ ಅವರು ಅಮೆರಿಕಾವನ್ನು ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರವೇಶ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದು ಅವರ ಬಾಲ್ಯದ ಕತೆ, ತುಂಬ ರೋಚಕವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕತೆ. ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಕಷ್ಟಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಕೂಡ ಅವರ ಪ್ರತಿಭೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷನ್ನು ಭಾಳ ನಿರರ್ಗಳವಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡುವಂಥ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಬಂತು. 1ರಿಂದ 10ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ತನಕ ಅವರು ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟವನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅವರು ಮತ್ತೆ ನೆನಪು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆಸೆ ಪಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿತ್ವ ಪರಿಚಯ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಮಾತುಕತೆಗಳು ಅವನ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆಸೆ ಪಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಸರ್, ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಎ ಫ್ಯೂ ಡೇಸ್ ಇನ್ IIT. ಸೊ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಸಮ್ ಟರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಲೈಫ್.
Yeah, IIT, first thing we went through, I went there 1 month late. In those days, ragging was very severe. And within about 2 to 3 weeks of my arrival, I got very badly ragged by seniors. I was new to this process, but I made a lot of good friends and I became more confident after ragging. But they did not harm me, but sometimes students can harm each other. Now the ragging is banned in most institutions. And then I was among, I felt, when I was in high school, PUC, I was the topper every time. But when I went to IIT, I was number 10 or 15 in the class because everybody was so good. And so the cream of the society. And when we went to IIT, the first thing our director told us is that, hey, you are the cream of India. There is nobody better than you. And you are here at IIT and you should succeed, excel in your careers. So we became very confident when we came out. And so all of us were very well prepared to go abroad. And all of us went abroad to United States.
Sir, semiconductor was your specialization.
Yeah, I started my education in semiconductors in IIT Madras. I actually wrote a couple of papers when I was in IIT Madras, research papers, because last year BTech you can do some research. So I did that, I wrote a couple of papers and I got good scholarship in the United States. So I was lucky, I got into top university. I went to University of Maryland, College Park, which even today is among the top 15 universities in the United States. So I went there, I did my master's in electrical engineering, graduated in 1981, and I continued my research in semiconductors. I wrote a few more papers. Then I got a job at ComSat Labs. I did 3 years of research there in the industry, developing broadband satellite communication technology with the organization, for an organization called Intelsat. Actually, we were in charge of putting India's first satellite into the orbit in those days. Okay, so this was I'm talking about in the early 80s. So when I was doing my first job, my professor at Stanford, he was he came to know about me. He contacted me, said, you apply to Stanford, you come to my research group and continue your research. So that's how I went to Stanford. I got my scholarship and I finished my PhD in 3 years at Stanford in 1986. And my research was in fundamental semiconductor physics and technology. Lot of that work I performed with Hewlett-Packard in Palo Alto. And then at Stanford I did a lot of work, so many papers. I also got some patents. Some companies came out of my work which became big in the Silicon Valley. So after Stanford graduation in 1986, I went to General Electric in Schenectady, upstate New York, and I was part of a very well-known research group in power semiconductor devices and power electronics. So I developed power semiconductor technology, discrete devices and switches and power supplies, ultrasound machines for General Electric, electronic ballast for lighting, and a number of products. And 1988 GE decided to sell that to Harris. So a lot of us left, and in 1990 I left GE because of that, and I joined Intel in Portland, Oregon. And Intel was just beginning to develop Pentium microprocessor technology. I was a senior scientist helping about 120 scientists who were engaged in developing the high-speed microprocessors. So within 3 years we developed 2 generations of microprocessors which really set the internet age. Otherwise we won't have today's internet. So today's wireless internet would be completely different if not for the Pentium chip. So I was very proud of that. 1993, by 1993 we had already developed the technology, products were coming out, it was changing the whole world. And so I decided to go to university, become a professor, because I wanted to give my knowledge to next generation students. And
that was the beginning, sir.
That was the beginning of my academic career. Yeah, I went to University of Wisconsin Madison, which is one of the top universities, and I was a professor there for 2 to 3 years. Then my family wanted to move to Chicago. So we moved there in 95. I'm still in Chicago in the same house since 95. And then I was a professor at University of Illinois for about 10 years. And I was a very successful professor. I produced about 25 PhD students and about 30 master's students. I invented about 12 patents, technology, and I did research for about more than $60 million US. And I was so successful, the state of Illinois, the governor started putting a lot of pressure on the university to commercialize the technology, start new companies. So I became sort of the guinea pig. So there was pressure from my university administration for me to start a company. And because
I take a very small break and
sure.
ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಬಹಳ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಥಾನಕವನ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅದ್ಭುತವಾಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಾಧನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿತ್ವ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಮೆರಿಕಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ 13 ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹೊಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಬ್ಬ ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಸುಪ್ರಸಿದ್ಧ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡುವಂಥ ಯೋಗ ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಅವರೇ ಒಂದು ಬಹಳ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದ ಕಂಪನಿ ಲೀಡ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯ ಕೂಡ ಹೊಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಊರಿಗೆ ಅವರು ಭಾಳ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದನ್ನು ಭಾಳ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ಕಟ್ಪಾಡಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಭಾಳ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ತಗೋತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ನಂತರ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರ ಕಥೆಯನ್ನು ಭಾಳ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಕೇಳೋಣ. ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಅತ್ಯಂತ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸ್ಕೈಸ್ ದ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಮುಂದುವರಿತಾ ಇದೆ. ಆಕಾಶವೇ ಮಿತಿ, ಭಾಳ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ವಾಸ್ ಇದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದ ಸಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಬರಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ. ಅವರ ಬದುಕಿನ ಕಥೆಯನ್ನು ಅವರೇ ಹೇಳುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಅವರ ಬದುಕಿನ ಕಷ್ಟಗಳನ್ನು, ಸಂಕಷ್ಟಗಳನ್ನು ಅವರು ಹೇಗೆ ಸವಾಲಾಗಿ ಸ್ವೀಕಾರ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹೇಳೋದನ್ನು ಜನರಿಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸುವಂಥ ವಿಶೇಷವಾದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ ಸ್ಕೈಸ್ ದ ಲಿಮಿಟ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ತಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಕೋರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಸಂಚಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರಸಿದ್ಧರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅಮೆರಿಕದ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಕಟ್ಪಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಪುಟ್ಟ ಗ್ರಾಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಜನಿಸಿದರು. ಸೊ ಬಾಲ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಕಷ್ಟವನ್ನು ಪಡಬೇಕಾಯಿತು. ಕನ್ನಡ ಸ್ಕೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಬೇಕಾಯಿತು, ಕಾಲ್ನಡಿಗೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾಯಿತು. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅವರು SSLCಯಲ್ಲಿ 15ನೇ ರ್ಯಾಂಕನ್ನು ಪಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು. ಉಡುಪಿ MGM ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಮೂಲಕ ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ 3ನೇ ರ್ಯಾಂಕನ್ನು ಪಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ PUCನಲ್ಲಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸಂಶೋಧನಾ ಪ್ರವೃತ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ಮೆಡ್ರಾಸ್ IITಯಲ್ಲಿ ತಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸವನ್ನು ಮುಂದುವರಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. BTech ಅನ್ನು ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೆಮಿ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಅಧ್ಯಾಯವನ್ನೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರವಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಂಶೋಧನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಅಮೇರಿಕಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಮೇರಿಕಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಸಂಶೋಧನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಸುಮಾರು 20 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬಹಳ ವಿಶೇಷವಾದನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಕೇಳಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಸೆಮಿ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಚಿಪ್ಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವರು ವಿಶೇಷವಾದ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆ ಅಗತ್ಯನ ಗಮನವನ್ನು ಸೆಳೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅವರು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ತಮ್ಮ MDಯನ್ನು ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಸಾಧನೆಗಳ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅವರು ಇವತ್ತು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಜನ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಗೈಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಒಬ್ಬ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಆಗಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಬದುಕಿನ 2ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯವನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಇನ್ನಷ್ಟು ಮಾತನಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಆಸೆ ಇದೆ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾನು ಅವರ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಸರ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಚಿಕಾಗೋ ನೌ.
Yes.
As a professor.
Right. And I'm talking about now 1998. And so the university president came to me. He said, Dr. Krishna, now you have done so much research, you have so many patents, you graduated so many outstanding students. Now we want you to start companies. So I became an entrepreneur. I was sitting in my office writing business plan. Took me 2 years to raise money. I raised $4 million venture capital, and I started the first company. My first company was to make a chip that would increase the battery life of a cell phone. And so my company, I founded it, I ran it, I was the CEO, CTO, I built it. Then it became so attractive that my investors sold it. And now that technology is part of almost every cell phone. Every cell phone, you see, in those days cell phone battery used to die within 1 hour, then you have to recharge. Today it lasts for 8 hours. So a lot of my technology has gone into that, not just cell phone but all the battery operated devices. Second company I started, again I raised the venture money. I did it in Vancouver in Washington state next to Portland, and that was to develop a sensor to put in the hot zone, emission zone of automobile, so you can improve the engine efficiency. And that company was again acquired by another company, bigger company, within a very short time, and that technology now is part of Bosch. You know, Bosch sells that device. So I became a little bit concerned because I was founding all these companies, spending a lot of time, and then my investors were selling my companies. So they really didn't have the patience to wait to make it big. So I decided to again come back to university. I became a professor again, and I was the then governor of Utah, John Huntsman, recruited me as an endowed professor. He put $1 billion into 2 universities in Utah to start new technology. I was recruited as the first endowed chair. I went there 15 months, and I developed wireless sensing technology to improve the agriculture and also sense water pollution. And because Utah is an arid climate, no agriculture, and the water is salty. And after that I was the chairman of a department, electrical engineering computer science, at University of Toledo for 5 years. Again I was in administration. I was also doing research, but all this time I developed wireless technology for cell phones and base station. And another technology that I have been developing since 1980s is energy and power, because I knew that energy and power is going to be a hot technology in the 21st century. If you look back, 20th century was all about information technology. Most people misunderstand information technology for software. Now software is just using information technology, okay, it's an agent, whereas actual technology is hardware, which is silicon chips, okay, and you build, using chips you build computers and all other systems. Software is just there to as a service industry. So when you talk about information technology, software is part of it, but hardware is a bigger part of it. So if you look back, the entire global economy in the 20th century was built around information technology. We didn't have computers in the 60s. We didn't have computers. 70s we started having computers. They were size of a building, were very slow. In the 80s we started having calculators. 90s we started having personal computers, and then laptops, and look at today we have wireless internet, and the whole world has changed. Okay, so what made this happen? Semiconductor chip technology made it happen. So I also knew that moving forward, 21st century is going to be all about energy, water and environment. And I also knew that semiconductor was crucial, a key piece of this puzzle. So I started working on semiconductors for these applications, that is energy, water, environment, and it's now about 40 years, and now I see the whole new world opening, because we are going to completely transform the electricity infrastructure. Okay, we want to start generating energy from renewable and sustainable natural resources like solar, wind, fuel cells, and we want to transform this electricity infrastructure from huge to very, very small, just like what we did with computers. So moving forward in 10, 20, 30 years, you will completely you will have wireless energy transfer, just like we are having information transmission using wireless mechanism. We would be able to transfer energy wirelessly. Okay, so the whole world is going to change in the next 10. It's very exciting. Okay, so again, software is going to be part of that, but that's just how to use the hardware, but hardware is the core technology, and the heart of that is really semiconductors.
Sir, you told some of your inventions and discoveries and
Yes.
some entrepreneurships. Sir, what are the qualities according to you are the entrepreneurship qualities, sir?
Entrepreneurship is quite different from writing exams. You can study, prepare for questions and go and take an exam and score 100. But entrepreneurship, you need to first of all be able to take risk, because risk and reward are related. You can get reward unless you are willing to take the risk. Also, entrepreneurship is not about one person. You need to be able to work with a lot of people and make things happen, and you need to have the right kind of people to build that business, whatever that business is. And you need in high technology, you need a unique idea which can be protected, and patents are a mechanism, it's a defense mechanism to protect the ideas, but it's not something that you can hold on to and say that nobody is going to do it, because there are always things to change. Now besides that, people, technology, and you need to develop a product for the right market, and there have to be customers. So you just don't want to go and do whatever product you want to develop the right product for the right customer, and there have to be hungry customers, and you have to watch the competition. So you want to enter into a field, if there is no competitor, that's not good either, because then people think that you don't have a good product. So you want to go into a market where there is competition, but you want to overcome that competition, and you want to keep running. How do you keep running? You want to support this with advanced research. Research has to keep pushing the technology. So the investment is important, the capital. Okay, so it's the capital, people, technology, market, product and customer. That's what makes an entrepreneurship. It's a whole package.
Sir, you wrote many books.
Yes.
8 books are there, and 10 book chapters are there, and 400 journals you contributed to the Society of Knowledge, and 13 US patents. Sir, some points about the patents you answer.
Yeah, one patent I just mentioned to you is new chip technology to increase the battery life, because battery is a key piece. Even for example, we are beginning to see electric vehicles. In the future, all these vehicles will be no more gasoline vehicles because they are polluting the environment. So we will have electric vehicles. Now the most important there is technology is the battery. Battery, first of all, it takes long time to charge a battery, 30 minutes, as opposed to within putting in gasoline within few minutes. So drivers don't have that patience. And once you charge the battery, it's going to last only for 100 miles, but you want to last it for like 400 or 500 miles. So we need a new technology, battery technology, new charging technology. Battery technology is mostly chemical engineering, okay, material science, but charging technology is all electronics. So we have a multidisciplinary kind of collaboration that needs to take place. It's not just about electrical engineers or computer scientists or computer engineers or mechanical. We all have to work together. You know, the technology is getting so complex that we need to learn about a lot of issues. Now I gave you an example. One product that came out is battery in increasing chip technology. Another product is cell phone. If you look at this cell phone, 60% of the battery energy is consumed by an amplifier that fits the antenna. Every time we talk, the cell phone gets hot. That's because the amplifier is consuming power. So you want to make that amplifier more better communication as well as lower energy consumption. So I have 2-3 patents to do that, okay, for a cell phone and base station amplifiers. Then I have very important patents on power switch, because power electronics, you know, you have energy source, let's say solar, wind, or other kind of energy, and you need to switch that energy before you transmit and at that point you receive. So there are multiple switching going on, and for that you need solid state semiconductor switches. So I have many patents there how to do this switching at very high efficiency and reliably, okay. So that's how we miniaturize these systems. So miniaturization and increase the energy efficiency, improving the reliability is the whole game, and semiconductors play the critical role there.
Sir, semiconductor is your passion?
That's my passion right from childhood.
Sir, why, sir?
Because I grew up at a time when there were no computers. I was first when I was in high school, we were memorizing all these numbers, all this. Then when I went to IIT, we started using slide rules and logarithmic tables. No computers there. Slowly the big computer IBM 370 came. We started learning about Fortran programming. Then the rest is history. We have personal computers, this and that. But all this happened because of advances in semiconductor. I knew how important the semiconductor technology was, and it is about semiconductor technology is taking the physics and making it work. Physics sometimes tends to be very abstract, just like math. So when physics works, it's beautiful. So the satisfaction you get is tremendous. So I am excited when I see physical laws are actually working in practical systems, and semiconductor is a good example of that.
Sir, as an inventor, as a doctor, sir, as a friendly lecturer, professor, you are having many dimensions, sir. Which dimension is most suitable to you, sir?
I think I am more at my heart I am a professor. I want to train young talent and take up, I look at this way. When a student comes to me, he or she is in a different shape or different state of knowledge. My job as a teacher is taking that human being and training and turning that human being into a very productive human being for the society. Okay, that's what a professor is supposed to do, and the satisfaction you get that by that transforming a human being into somebody so productive, so useful to the societies, the satisfaction is unbelievable.
ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಇವತ್ತು ಒಬ್ಬ ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟುಡಿಯೋಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಮೂಲತಃ ಕಟ್ಪಾಡಿಯವರು. ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಸಂಶೋಧನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸುಮಾರು 25 ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಅವರು ಅಮೇರಿಕಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲಿ 13 ಅಮೇರಿಕನ್ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳಿದೆ. 10ಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಪುಸ್ತಕವನ್ನು ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸುಮಾರು 12 ಜನ PhD ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಅವರು ಗೈಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯವಾಗಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ವೇದಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷತೆ ವಹಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ತನ್ನ ಪೇಪರನ್ನು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ಗಳಿದೆ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬಹಳ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಕೊಡೋ ಸಂಗತಿಗಳು ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ. ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಮಾತನಾಡಲಿ ಬಾಕಿ ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಚರಣ ಬಾಕಿ ಇದೆ. ಸರ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಕೇಳೋಣ. ವಿ ಟೇಕ್ ಎ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್. ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರು, ಬಹಳ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸ್ಕೈಸ್ ದ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಮುಂದುವರಿತಾ ಇದೆ. ಆಕಾಶವೇ ಮಿತಿ ಬಹಳ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ವಾಸ್ ಅದು. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ 25 ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಅಮೆರಿಕದಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಲೆಸಿದ್ಕೊಂಡ ಭಾರತೀಯ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿಯನ್ನು ಪರಿಚಯ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅವರು ಇವತ್ತು ತನ್ನ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ 13 ಅಮೇರಿಕನ್ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಪಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, 10 ಪುಸ್ತಕವನ್ನು ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅವರ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಇವತ್ತು ಅತಿ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ತನ್ನ ಸ್ಥಾನವನ್ನು ಖಾತರಿಪಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ತನ್ನ ಕಟ್ಪಾಡಿಗೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಅನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ನಾನು ಅವರನ್ನು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆಸೆ ಪಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅವರನ್ನು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಸರ್, ಯು ಗಾಟ್ ಎ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಾರಲ್ಸ್, awards and awards in America. Sir, few.
Oh, I was elected fellow of Institution of Electronics and Electrical Engineers, which is a global organization, and there is only 1% of in the world that are fellows. I was also elected a fellow of American Physical Society, which is even difficult. Then I was elected a fellow of American Association for Advancement of Science. Then I was elected a fellow of IETE in India. Then I received a very prestigious award from the entire University of Illinois, University Scholar. Very, very few have received that honor. And then I have many other honors. But the most proud honor for me is my students. I'm very happy that they are doing very well around the world in industry, as professors, or they have their own companies. So I'm very happy to see that.
Sir, you are working with many scientists in Illinois. Yes. Great scientists. Sir, a few names.
Well, I worked with two-time Nobel laureate winner John Bardeen. He is no more there. Then I worked with I was at Argonne National Lab until recently. I worked with one of my colleague at University of Chicago won the Economic Nobel Prize 2 years ago. So at GE I have worked with a couple of Nobel laureates. So I worked with many. At Stanford we had at the time I was doing my PhD, we had about 15 Nobel laureates, and just the Nobel laureates house was right next to me. So I'm used to working with such great people throughout my career.
Sir, in what way you are giving back to India, sir?
Well, I am really thinking of returning to India because I have done a lot for United States. My kids are grown up and they are well settled. So I have been coming to India every year, but this last year I came like 5 times, and a couple of times I went back to my school where I got my grade 1 to 10 education, SVS schools. And I was really shocked to see the state of school because there is lot of improvement in facilities, there is shortage of teachers, qualified teachers. The schools are not full with students. More students are going to English medium, very few students are going to Kannada medium. So and also the libraries have no books, no the food the lunch is not good, clothes are not good. So there is lot of opportunities to improve the school system. In fact, to do this, and also Indian in general education produces great students who get degrees, but they are not starting new companies. Like why not we have somebody start a Google or Facebook or Intel? Why we are not able to do that? Why only it's happening in America or some other country? So entrepreneurship is missing in Indian education system. and entrepreneurship has to be it has to be integrated right from beginning in the high schools, colleges, and not just wait for PhD. So I am very interested in sort of bringing in the Western approach to Indian education, which is kind of very conservative and more lagging. So with the Western approach to transforming Indian education, making it more entrepreneurial, making it more thinking as opposed to studying. Learning is a process where you have to start thinking, so you can be more innovative, and innovation has to come out not just as papers. Innovation has to come out as a product which becomes useful to the society, and then that product you can sell not just within the country but outside, so you can grow the regional economy. Okay, so I am very interested in improving the education system right from grade 1 all the way to high technology PhD, and also bringing in entrepreneurship. I want to encourage produce students who can start their own companies and industrialize the entire Konkan belt. And in this region we have enormous talent, and just in Posartota, I mean, we are like 10 houses, and every house there are at least 3-4 engineers, 2-3 doctors, so many. So they have gone all over the world, become outstanding contributors. So why not we do that, repeat that everywhere? And so I am very interested in that. And energy, environment, and water technology offers tremendous opportunity, and India can take a leadership role in the global economy, and I am very interested in trying to contribute to that.
Especially to your SVS Katpadi.
SVS Katpadi High School. In fact, October 1 we are organizing a special event, starts at 3 o'clock, will end at 6. We are recognizing some outstanding alumni of the school. It's 100-year-old school, originally founded by Pangal Naik family, and has produced outstanding students who are all over the world. And we want to recognize some of them. Then we want to have a discussion session. We have invited some experts, industry, education, banking sector, entrepreneurs. We want to debate about education and entrepreneurship. We want to debate about Kannada versus English medium. What is this? So why not? Why do we need to really changing Kannada medium into English medium? Why all the students are going to English medium? What is so great about it? I studied in Kannada medium. I was very successful. There are so many people studied in Kannada medium. They are successful. We want to debate these things and try to improve the education system, and try to cultivate this entrepreneurship and industrialize the Konkan belt. And I am hoping that public will become aware of this opportunity ahead of us. If we don't grab it, somebody else will grab it. So that's what I am trying.
ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರ್ 1ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನಂತರ SVS ವಿದ್ಯಾಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರ ಸಂಕಿರಣ ಏರ್ಪಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಉದ್ಯಮ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠರನ್ನು ಸನ್ಮಾನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಉದ್ದಿಮೆಗಳನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವನ್ನು ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದು ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಮುಖಾಮುಖಿ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದೆ. ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿ ಇದರ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನವನ್ನು ತಾವು ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ವಿನಂತಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇವೆ. ತಮ್ಮನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು SVS ವಿದ್ಯಾಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿ ಆಮಂತ್ರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಸರ್, ಯುವರ್ ಲೈಫ್, sir, my life has been a challenge and a fancied story. That was the bottom line you wrote. Fancied story. How it is, sir?
Well, it is really fancied because when I was growing up, until about grade 7, I was probably the last in the class. So I never thought that I will go to high school, because first of all I didn't have the resources. Second of all, I was not a good student. Then when I changed the school from 7th grade to 8th grade, we went to another school, SVS High School, from elementary school. Something totally different happened. I started coming first, because I started working very hard. Something got into me. I was really pumped up, and I had lost my father, and so then I also, later I lost my brother. So I became passionate. And I became so driven, and I learnt one thing: if you are passionate about something and if you are really driven, nothing can stop you. Nobody can stop you. And that's what happened to me. From nowhere I came this far, and it's really a fancy story. I never dreamt that I would be doing what I'm, or have done what I achieved. I never dreamt that I could do that.
The theme is, sir, sky is the limit.
Sky is
Sir,
the
how
limit.
you understand, sir?
Yes, sky is really the limit. I mean, it's in within an individual, but I think the most important thing I've realized is you have to have a passion. Whatever you do, you have to be passionate about it, and you have to be highly driven to excel in whatever you choose to do. Nobody can stop you.
ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಇವತ್ತು ಭಾಳ ವಿಶೇಷವಾದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಪ್ರಸಾರವಾಯಿತು. ಜ್ಯುವೆಲ್ ದ ಕ್ರೌನ್ ಅಂತ ಬಹಳ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದ ಶೀರ್ಷಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡು ಇವತ್ತು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಪೊಸ್ಸಾರು ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಹರೀಶ್ ಶೆಣಿಯವರು ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಮೇರಿಕಾದ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಪ್ರಸಿದ್ಧವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿಯವರು, ಇವತ್ತು ರ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಅಮೇರಿಕಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಟಾಪಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅವರು, ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಟೀಮನ್ನು ಮುನ್ನಡೆಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು, ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಆಗಿ ಜನಪ್ರಿಯ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವರು, 13 ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ಸನ್ನು ತಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರಿಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವರು, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ PhD ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಅಧ್ಯಯನಶೀಲತೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವರು, ಕಟ್ಪಾಡಿ SUS ವಿದ್ಯಾಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ತನ್ನ ಬಾಲ್ಯವನ್ನು ಕಳೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವರು, MGM ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ PUC 3ನೇ ರ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಪಡೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವರು, ಸೊ ಅಮೇರಿಕ ತನ್ನ ಜೀವನದ ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಭಾಗವನ್ನು, ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠವಾದ ಭಾಗವನ್ನು ಕಳೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವರು, ನೊಬೆಲ್ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಪಡೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅವರು ಸೇವೆಯನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವರು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಬೇಕಂತ ತುಡಿತಾ ಅವರಿಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಶೈಕ್ಷಣಿಕ ಪದ್ಧತಿಯನ್ನು ಬದಲಾಯಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅವರು ಆಸೆ ಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ 1ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿನಿಂದ ಕೂಡ ಉದ್ಯಮ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠತೆಯನ್ನು ಬಳಸುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರು ಆಸೆ ಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದು ಅವರ ಜೀವನದ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ. ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಸಾರ್ಥಕ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸ್ಕೈಸ್ ದ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿ ಸಾರ್ಥಕ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ನಾನು ಭಾಳ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಬೀಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ನಾನು ತುಂಬ ಇವತ್ತು ಎನ್ರೈಟನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಪೊಸ್ಸಾರು ಕೃಷ್ಣಯವರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಪಂದನ ವಾಹಿನಿಯ ಲಕ್ಷಾಂತರ ವೀಕ್ಷಕ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಸರ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ಫಾರ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ಸರ್.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಭೇಟಿಯಾಗೋಣ. ಮುಂದಿನ ವಾರ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಅತಿಥಿ ಜೊತೆಗೆ. ಸಾಧಕರ ಕಥೆ ಮುಂದುವರಿತಾ ಇದೆ, ಸ್ಕೈಸ್ ದ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಮುಂದುವರಿತದೆ. ವಿಶ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್.